we look a lot alike, so you gotta make sure you got the right one.
They got chips and sandwiches, chips, sandwiches. I think a little candy when they got over there. What you do? I didn't. I'm glad you said something. I didn't turn mine off either.
I know, and see, those nails, I think, look at the nails. I usually like have a Kelly green color, but they were out of it. But I usually, and is that blue inside? Yes, yeah, I just decided to get it, do a little something, some color. I had this blouse and everything, Kelly green, with a pink color collar, and a baby black. I love it. I love it. Okay, I love it so much. I really, that's my favorite shit. Thank you. Yes, so now I feel good about wearing some green. Oh, absolutely, absolutely. Yes, next time I'm gonna take it one step further. Absolutely.
I guess introduce ourselves.
Thank you for being here.
And I think it says something about like give people the opportunity to ask you any questions that they may have.
Thank you for being here.
Thank you for having us. Thank you for having us. Introduce ourselves and allow the community any questions that they may have. That's how the email, that's how I read and understood the email. That's why when I saw this one, I was like, okay, so it would be back to back. But yeah, I tried doing that during the primary walk in the neighborhoods and stuff. They were not. And then I think my cousin Dawn got mad because she had invited me over to District. She wanted to District 3. Yeah, right. And I was like, didn't want to sound like it was pushback, like it failed cause. But I kind of was like, and she was like, I'm tired of people acting like, this community over here don't vote. Like, it's a waste of time. I said, well, Don, really, it was. We walked the neighborhoods, and they were not accepting of voting.
Man, I feel like I'm about to. I feel like I'm about to seriously. No, but that's you see my hand shaking. That's what I was like, I do.
Just, it was a
I
whole
said, let
time.
me get something in my body.
And she had got mad. She was like, well, good luck, good luck to you. I said, thank you. But it wasn't trying to turn her down. It just was, I don't want to waste my time going over there, It was just, it wasn't.
No, I don't.
To get
No, I
something
don't. I'm
over
a
there.
this person. Feel a little shaky, right? Feeling a little
And see,
shaky.
look, that was in
Thank you.
2008 when President Obama first ran for his first office. I volunteered and went out to get voter signatures. They put me in that area. So I was already knowing how gas they were, and I had to stand out at the stores and stuff, and they were not. So when I went over there to knock doors for her, and they still was on the same mentality.
He's been growing though. That's what it's taking me.
Yeah. And it's
Ninth
sad.
grade.
It kind of,
Well,
and that was my first
my little
time.
brother. That's my
It
little
was
brother.
kind of hurting my feelings because you
No,
got to
when
go
my
up to
mom
people.
passed.
You're like, hey, how you doing? Can I ask you a question? Are you a
My
registered
mama died
voter? And they
before me.
like, why?
When she passed.
Gotta vote for what? What's that gonna do with me?
So he did.
So
Yeah, he's an OU.
it was discouraging, but it didn't stop me. I still stood out there for 2 hours.
Yeah, that's my little brother. So I always had that feeling in my heart, like this is the school she wants to go to. So no, I really wasn't nervous about it at all. She loved it. She said she loves like the curriculum. She said yes. They only see each other in passing. Yeah, they only see each other in passing. And because the campus, the way the campus is made up, they see each other in passing. That's it. Girls division, boys division. Yep. Only time they see each other is like at the game. No, she was at what's the name? But Boonville? Oh wow.
But I work for the state and I talk to the people, and this is the
Oh
same
really?
type
So
of
you?
that's how they sound, that's what they comfortable with, and that's what they
She
want.
considerate. My cousin told me like when they get to the eighth grade to start like
Good evening, Pontiac.
Good, how are you?
Good evening.
Good evening.
We're going to get started in a very few minutes for this important forum where the candidates will have an opportunity to share with you their thoughts and their positions as far as how they will affect the power that will be turned over to them if they are elected to be a part of your library board. And so before we get started, we're going to ask that anybody else that would like some food, there's plenty over there. If you would get it now, we want to be settled when the forum actually begins, but we're going to ask if you would. And again, there's plenty of food, please. Nobody wants to take this food home with them. It's good food. I will take it, but I prefer that you all get as much as you would like. And again, we will start the forum in just a very few minutes. And while you're getting food, I just want to acknowledge the organizations that put this forum together ahead of time. And I want to make sure, does anybody have a flyer? I want to make sure I don't miss anyone. But I know we have Voting Access for All Coalition that's in the room.
Thank you.
We have the League of Women Voters. League of Women Voters Oakland area, as well as League of Women Voters of Detroit that's represented. We have Oakland Forward. We have Voters Not Politicians. Ooh, a flyer. All right. We have the Michigan League of Conservation Voters. Jews for a Secular Democracy. Oh my, I can't read that.
You need one of us to read it?
It's Marcus's.
Yes, the Change Up Midnight Coalition.
Thank you. The Change Up Midnight Coalition. Michigan Roundtable for Just Communities. And When You Vote, I Win. So with that, again, we're going to get started in a very few minutes. I'm going to say 6:15, which is about 3 minutes to get everyone enough time to take part in the food that has been provided. We thank the organizations for the food, the printed material, and for the fact that there is this great interest in what happens in the city of Pontiac. As someone called it, when they called it out to me, the center of the universe. That's what I heard. That's what I heard. Thank you.
Well, we don't see anybody gathering food, so we are going to go ahead and get started. We're not going to prolong this thing anymore tonight. My name is Damar Bias, and I am one of your moderators for the evening. We have already been, our sponsors have already been acknowledged, but we will have to give you this disclaimer. The nonpartisan sponsors for this event do not endorse any candidate or political party. Views expressed in this forum are those of the candidate only. We, the sponsors, take no responsibility. If you're interested in learning more about the work of the presenting organizations or how you can get involved with strengthening our democracy, I encourage you to visit the resource table before you leave. Also, you were given a survey. Please take the time to fill that out and drop that off. It's what they utilize to make these events better each time that they do them. They like the feedback and know how it actually conveyed to the people. So tonight we will hear from 9 of the 12 candidates of the library board. We have Angela Allen, Tori Blander Harris, Yvette Brinker Marion, Carlton Jones.
Tanea T.
I don't want to kill your name.
Tanea T.
And Ms. Tanea T. Keels, LaDonna Cornegate Bay, Rosie Lance Richardson, Holbert Maxey, Carol Yvonne Turpin. Also running, but not in attendance, is Dorian J. Simone Burkett, Rayvon Love, and Russ W. Russell. And so now, before we begin with the candidates, we're going to give you a brief background of what the library board actually functions as, because a lot of people don't truly understand what the library board does. They just assume it's a group of people who make decisions autonomously. So the Pontiac Library Board of Trustees is a 6th board member of local residents that governs our library. These trustees are elected by Pontiac voters in city elections, meaning they represent the community voice in regards to library matters. Board members serve multi-year terms and usually volunteers or receive a very small stipend per meeting as allowed by law. As well as the library board is independent of City Hall, is similar to our school board. The library board usually meets monthly every 4th Thursday at 6 p.m. in the library, and those meetings are open to the public. The library board's job is big picture governance. They focus on policies and oversights, not daily library work. Michigan law spells out several key powers and duties for library boards, like setting policies and rules, hiring and evaluating library board directors, budgeting and finance oversight, maintaining and improving the library facility, as well as planning and prioritizing services at the library. They serve as bridging a gap from the library to the community, as well as, in summary, the board governs the library at the policy level. They do not check out books or run story times. That is the job of staff. They do make high-level decisions that enable the library to run smoothly and legally. Board actions are done by formal votes in their meetings, and no single board member has the authority to act alone. Just like the school board or city council, the library board can only make decisions as a group via majority vote. That means you'll often see them discussing an issue and then voting on a motion to take action. So that is the function of our library board. So before we begin and we turn it over to our second moderator who's going to ask the questions this evening, we ask you to please silence your cell phone, refrain from personal recordings, as this event will be televised and the recording of the forum will be available via a link that everyone will have access to. The format of the forum has been established by the League of Women Voters. Candidates will answer questions with their own views only and not interrupt another candidate. Questions are asked to all candidates and do not single out any candidate. All questions submitted by the audience and screened for duplication and appropriateness by Brandy Mitchell, Christine Allen, and Janae Carson. Our pages are circling the audience with paper and pencil. If you have a question, you'll have an opportunity to write it down and turn it in to be asked. And then our timer today is Jenny. she'll be letting you know when you got 15 seconds and when it's time to stop. And with that, I turn this over now to Rhonda Craig of the League of Women Voters.
Thank you. The format for our forum is as follows. All candidates are given 1 minute for opening statements in alphabetical order. Later, candidates have 1 minute to answer each question in rotation. All candidates will be allowed equal time to answer questions. Closing statements will be 1 minute in reverse order. As we begin with the forum, I'd like to remind our audience to turn off your cell phones. We will begin with opening statements from our candidates. Candidate Allen, you have 1 minute.
Good evening. Can you hear me? Good evening. My name is Angela Allen. I am the current Pontiac Public Library Board Secretary. This is my first term as an elected official and on the library. I want to thank you guys for the votes, for putting me into the general election. I am a small business owner, Uncle Jerry's Barbecue. I am a mother of one 13-year-old son and a proud member of this community. I continue to look forward to serve you in every capacity. Thank you.
Thank you. Candidate Blander Harris.
Good evening, everyone. I am Tori Blander Harris, and I do appreciate all your votes that you guys did place on August 5th to place me through the general election to here. And I am excited to be a part of this community, as I am a proud member of the Pontiac Northern Class of '98. Go Huskies, that's right. And I am also a proud mother of two, a senior at Nicholas, he's 17, and a 5th grader, Mackenzie. She's 9 and she's a handful. But I am excited to serve this community because it gives me an opportunity to bring my kids to Pontiac, where I was born and raised and proud of, in hopes that they would have the same pride as being from Pontiac, Michigan. And I enjoy the opportunity to be a part of this board to give the community the same love that I give my family. Thank you.
Thank you. Candidate Marion.
Hello, everyone. My name is Yvette Brinker Marion. I am the current vice chair of the Pontiac Public Library. As Ms. Allen said, we have been on the board for 4 years. We have worked tirelessly on the library board for those past 4 years, and we look forward to continuing another 4 years. As I stated a little while ago, that was our trial period. Now we're ready. We learned. We went to conferences. We learned a lot of things, and we're ready to go and just move forward. Renovations and different things, programs to come to the library. I am a mother of one, and I am a long-term Pontiac resident and a long-term literacy advocate.
Thank you. Candidate Jones.
Good evening. My name is Carlton Jones. I'm a community activist first and foremost, born and raised in this city. A lot of you may know me by face or by name, but I want to say this. I want to thank the organizations that put this together, and I want to thank all the folks who came out tonight. As being a community activist, I like to see the community get engaged. I have numerous years of experience in facilities and management. I did get a business management degree from Alabama State University from a scholarship from Pontiac Central. I also have a background in previously working with Pontiac Schools as a construction coordinator, and I also worked for the city of Pontiac at the Pontiac Housing Commission. And part of that was part of my responsibility of looking over facilities. Thank you, and I appreciate the opportunity to serve.
Thank you. Candidate Keels.
Good evening. My name is Tania T. Keels, and I would like to also say thank you guys for supporting and voting, making your voices heard, helping me through the primary. I am a mother of two. I am born and raised right here in Pontiac. I work within the city of Pontiac, and I would like to say that I am trying to be a part of making a change here in Pontiac. I do appreciate the opportunity to even run for the Pontiac Library Board and to learn how to support my community and get the community engaged. I would like to say thank you.
Thank you. Candidate Corner J. Bay.
Good evening, everyone. Can you all hear me? Good evening, Pontiac. My name is LaDonna Cornegay Bay. I'm a longtime member of the city of Pontiac. I have 3 wonderful children. I chose to step into this position, so I thank you all for supporting me through this entire time. I have a background in human resource development, a graduate from Oakland University. I also specialize in taxes. I'm a tax strategist, and I also love that I'm a business owner. I get to help a lot of citizens in Pontiac minimize mental health using natural products. So my goal is to revitalize and restructure the library in hopes that, you know, we can continue to keep it open and welcoming for everyone in the community. So I want to thank you all tonight.
Candidate Lance Richardson.
Good evening, everyone. Good evening.
Good evening.
Okay, I just want to know I was talking to somebody. I am Rosie Lance Richardson, went to Whittier, Jefferson, graduated from Pontiac Central. I am the mother of 4. My twins are my youngest. I'm a retired principal and teacher from Pontiac schools. I've had the opportunity, including one of these young ladies right here, was one of my former students, and I'm very proud of her. I've had the opportunity to be on the board for 11 and a half years. When I retired from Pontiac schools, I initially said, what is it that I can do to help continue to support our city and be in a better place for our students and for our families? And so I just want you to know that I want to continue on the board, and November 4th is also my birthday, so I'm thanking you for voting for me on November 4th. Thank you so much.
Thank you. Now, Candidate Maxey is not here, is that correct? Okay. Then we go to Candidate Turpin.
Yes. Can you hear me? Yes. Okay. Good evening, everyone. I am truly thankful for this opportunity to be a part of this forum. I thank you for your votes in the primary. I just want to say that I'm a servant leader. My service began at the age of 14 in a Head Start program in the rural South. And the library and books just opened up a world for me. And because of that, I knew that there were possibilities that I could achieve. And from that point, I went to serve as a social worker in Detroit, an outreach worker. Then next, I ran for the school board, and there I served for a number of years. And my basic focus on the school board was literacy for children. And so I want to say that, and I have earned the highest award the school board member in the state of Michigan can earn. That's the President's Award. I served at the national level. I was chosen by school board members all over the country to serve at Hughes.
Thank you, Candidate Turpin.
You're welcome.
And now we will begin the question and answer segment of our forum. Answers have a 1-minute time limit. We will begin with Candidate Blander Harris, and then we will rotate the questions. The first question is, what programming will you provide for the youth to teach history?
Thank you for that. I appreciate it. And whoever stated that question, as a former educator, one of the programs that I believe that we should have is a program where they're actually acting it out. So that way they'll get 2 things, because the best way to learn history is to learn it and do it. And that way you're learning it, seeing it, doing it, reading it, writing it. And this is something that I think we can really enact, having them act it out, because if you go to other states, you will see that in when they show history, they're most of the time acting it out, showing the kids how to do it. So that is a program that I think that I can bring to the library to get history more enthused in the library. And don't get rid of the books.
Thank you. Candidate Marion, what programming will you provide?
Coming from a HBCU grad, I noticed that when I arrived at Central State, the history that I knew about our culture was very limited. I would love to implement a program where we do Black History college tours again, like we used to in Pontiac. I would love to implement that program to learn more about the history of African Americans and the history of other people also. So that would be one thing that I would love to see come back to help our high school graduates make more informed decisions about college admission.
Thank you. Candidate Jones.
Programming that I think would be most important for this city is for us to know about this city. I think to teach the history of Pontiac, to teach the nature of which this whole city was built, and to understand how the different people who in this city at one particular time engaged, everything from the school system to building automobiles. So I think this right here is very important for a person who lives in this city to understand the history of Pontiac. And fortunate enough, we've got a museum now that really speaks to the transportation that this city was all about, and I would really encourage incorporating that into a learning process for anybody in Pontiac.
Thank you. Candidate Keels.
I think that the history is very important for our kids and for the community to understand how far we've come. I think being participative in the programs to learn all the way back to where we started and how far we've come, I think that is something that needs to be brought into fruition so that the small history that we've learned in grade school, I think it needs to be brought in where we can understand how it all started and how far we've come from all the way back. I think that is very important in getting our community to understand how history had developed. Thank you.
Thank you. Candidate Cornegay Bay.
It's Cornegay Bay.
I'm sorry.
It's okay. I have a very large heart for the elderly. So I believe, finding those ones that are founded and staples of our community can share their history and how they grew up around Pontiac with our youth, with our mid-age people such as myself. I believe that every race should be included within the library. So someone that's of service or that has the expertise to talk about their history within our community should be welcome within the library. Thank you.
Thank you. Candidate Lance Richardson.
Good evening again. As a retired educator and being on the Oakland County Historical Commission, as well as the Oakland County Historical Society, we have established partnerships with schools that come to those places for students to learn as well as adults. And we have a series of events that go on during the course of the year. And I've been on both of those, that commission as well as on the council for over 8 years. And so as we continue to do things, I used to be called the field trip queen, is to engage kids not only just in material, but actually have an opportunity to visit different sites and understand the difference as opposed to just having something on paper, but also having the opportunity to sit down with a number of people that can give us some of the history of Pontiac and other areas that make a difference in all of our lives.
Thank you. Candidate Turpin.
Yes. First of all, Black history should be taught every day, every month, every year. It's an ongoing process. It's not just one day of a celebration. And I think we have to get our kids and our youth excited about what Black history is. And we can do that through storytelling. We can do it through debate, TikTok. We can just provide opportunities for them to actually show what they can do. You can have debate teams. You can have storytelling with the elderly. With the seniors, you can have listening sessions where our students can ask questions about their history and have them engaged in the actual implementation of what Black history is. What do they want to see happen? Because a lot of times we just dictate to them what we want them to know and what we want them to see, but we do have to educate them toward the understanding the importance and the sacrifice that our ancestors died and fought for, because today they don't know that. And I think it's up to us as a community to inform them so that
Thank you very much. Candidate Allen.
So history is right before us in this room. As I look out right now and see Dr. Turpin, as I see Patrice Waterman, Kermit Williams, Harry Earl, Mr. Crump, Jerry Allen, this room is full of history right here, and everybody has a story to tell. I think that if we get these people into a room, into the library, and allow them to give their history, where they came from, and where they are today, that is history. Everybody has a story to tell. Jennifer Dooley, an educator, a board member of the Pontiac Board of Education right now. We have a room full of history, and I think that everyone, each one teach one. We have plenty of rooms in the library, and plenty of services that we can implement and put these programs into place and allow each person to tell their story and go back into history. History is not black, history is not white. It's cumulative of everybody sitting next to you right now.
Thank you. This next question will first go to candidate Bricker Marion, or candidate Marion. If funding becomes limited, what areas would you protect, and where would you consider cuts?
If funding became limited, the first thing that I would try to do is fundraise throughout the community, through sponsors and companies and businesses throughout the community. The thing that I would not ever want to cut is library resources. They're very vital to our community, they're vital to the children, and so I would not cut library services. I would just try to fundraise to better support the library and its funding.
Thank you. Candidate Jones.
Yeah. My past experience saying, and if you are not have a good, solid operation, you do not have a place for people to come to. So we have to protect the operation that it continues to run. That should be first and foremost, that we're able to provide a library for people to come to. If we had to cut, as I see it right now, there could be programs cut, but we still need to have the operation of the library open and viable.
Thank you. Candidate Keels.
I think the first thing that I would do is to sit down and to see where the funding is allocated to that's most important to the functioning of the library. I would try and collaborate with other organizations or look to other organizations to see what they do different that may help support the initiatives at the library with trying to limit the resources that we would cut or that would be cut. Just fundraising and looking for collaborations from other communities or other library resources to see where we could cut or try and boost up other areas that would be better beneficial to the community.
Thank you. Candidate Cornegay Bay.
Thank you. So as a tax strategist, I would first look at the financial reports to see what's going on. So just to give a general answer, I'm big on researching and finding grants and finding ways to keep this entity available and readily accessible for our citizens. So I wouldn't cut staff members, I would not cut programs because that's the heartbeat of the city, but I would look at the budget and see what else can be minimized and to see what can be cut at that time so that we can still have a thriving library that we can all still have access to. Thank you.
Thank you. Candidate Lance Richardson.
Okay. One of the things we want to do is seek additional sponsors, continue to write grants, combine services, and certainly seek out those that are willing to volunteer their services without pay, so you don't have to reduce any of their services that you have. I think it's most important, and I found over the last 11 and a half years, is that we want to make sure that we are partnering with other people so service can be available for all levels, early childhood to adults. That's very important.
Thank you. Candidate Turpin?
Yes, as previously said, I would really like to see the budget and do the analysis of where the money is going and why. And then after that, then we have to do a strategic plan to see exactly what is feasible and what is not. And then fundraising opportunities, we can do sponsorships from businesses in the community. We can do adopt a book program. We can have auctions. We can have just reach out to the community for fundraising for its donations. And so there's a lot of things we can do. We just have to put our minds together as a community and as a board and come up with some creative ideas. But there's grants. There's maybe money from the city. There's, I want to say the federal government, but I'm hesitant to say that. Thank you.
Thank you. Candidate Allen?
Oh, I have 50 more seconds.
Well,
I just need you to know that when it comes up, just to warn you that you have anything.
Okay.
Candidate Allen?
Okay. So right now, well, next year we have the millage coming up. So we have to focus on the millage and getting the millage passed so that that can pay for things that we need at the library. As of right now, as a board secretary, we've already worked on cuts this year. So working on the budget's our priorities. We've cut down things in order to put things in proper places. And one of the conference I attended, a lady said their library was ran solely on volunteers. They had to have a director in order to get state funding, but they had volunteers to work throughout the library. So volunteers is important, fundraising, relationships. We must have relationships with these companies that are right here within our community. We have billion-dollar corporations, UWM, Amazon, right here in our community. So we have tons of community partners that we can go to for partnerships to help us until we are able to have sustainability.
Thank you. Candidate Blander-Harris.
Yes, so first and foremost, I would like to go ahead and protect the library resources and the community that we have created within the library. And then when I get to cutting back as a group, we'll choose to cut back on like finances where we can after we did an audit. And then we will look for grants, volunteers, philanthropic dollars, also create relationships with other libraries where they can send any employees that they have that are extra to us, where they're paying them for them to still allow them to work. And they're working within the library system because we do have a consortium where we can borrow books, so why can't we just borrow some of their employees to give them more hours too? That way we're helping out the communities all around, so we won't seem like we're always taking, when we're also giving, because we're giving them time and we're giving them money back. So thank you.
Thank you. Our next question will first go to Candidate Jones. And that question is, what's your vision for the library's role in promoting literacy, lifelong learning, and community engagement?
I think that's a perfect question. I have been promoting workforce development, and hopefully everybody knows that that's all about education. And from my history, I found that our city has been lacking the proper educational channels to prepare people for great careers. So I would promote the library to truly have an excellent literacy program because it starts real early. We have to get away from just the only track is just go to college. College is great, but if we have the opportunity to have our whole city understand there's a variety of different successful tracks, but it all starts with being able to have good math skills and good reading skills. So we as a community need to realize how important our education system is, and the library is a very important part of that.
Thank you. Candidate Kills.
I think expanding the library services that helps promote community engagement with workforce development and advocating for literacy, like literacy programs, not just for children, but for everyone. We're helping them to understand how important literacy is. I think that if we ensure that everybody is included, not just, including everybody, all walks of life, and trying to bring them up to be able to be able to get a job or understand how to fill out an application, or, you know, being able to comprehend what it is, the resources that are available to them around the community. I think that is really important.
Thank you. Candidate Cornegay Bay.
Can you repeat that question again, please?
Yes. What's your vision for the library's role in promoting literacy, lifelong learning, and community engagement?
So my vision for the library is to keep it as a hub of all resources. I would love for all of the nonprofits to have their resources at the library. I would love to you know, join forces with the school board and make sure that we're in compliance with them and we're all partners. And that way we can be of strength to the entire city. So my vision with that is to join forces with the schools that are here as well. I don't want to leave anyone out. I believe everyone is important, from the children, from the middle-aged to the elderly, veterans, and the homeless. So that's my vision, is to keep resources there. Every time I go to the library, I see a lot of things. I see a lot of people there. So they are our community members just as we are. So I believe just having the resources there readily available can be helpful. Thank you.
Thank you. Candidate Lance Richardson.
Engagement is the most important part of vision for literacy, long life learning, and workforce. It's so important that we continue, and we do have partnerships and relationships with schools right now. And we're going to expand that so that we have not only our young people that are being tutored or mentors that are coming in, each one of you could be a part of that too, can come in and in your spare time and help a child, whether it's the early childhood, the middle school, or adults. Because across the board, and even with reentry, you have an opportunity to engage with other people. And when you engage with other people, whether the learning is first time learning or learning, as unfortunately as it is, learning at a later age, because unfortunately there's so many people that are adults that have not had the opportunity to be engaged in literacy. So it's across the board with engaging not only...
Thank you. Candidate Turpin?
Yes. When we talk about literacy, we are talking about literacy for the entire community. Literacy is really a community initiative. And I would like to think that we can expand upon the current programs that are now being offered in the library. We can do things like parent workshops to help them to understand the importance of literacy. We can have GED preparation in our library to help those adults who did not graduate from high school, because we know how important a basic high school diploma is as far as employment and just trying to advance ourselves in life. And I just think that we need summer programs in the library for the kids, because we have summer loss in learning. So I just think that we could just get everybody on board, be a partnership in the community, and just come out and say we are all going to work on literacy for everyone in the community. Thank you.
Thank you. Candidate Allen.
Can you please repeat the question?
What's your vision for the library's role in promoting literacy, lifelong learning, and community engagement?
So we have to meet people where they are. There's several different people in this world. We have people with disabilities, different ways of learning, autistic, there's several different things. So we just have to know what the needs are of the community and meet them where they are. So right now, as Ms. Richardson said, we do have tutor. We also have a program called We Shall Read. It brings a different way of learning to people that don't know how to read and can't comprehend the way me or you can. Community engagement. We have tons of community engagement. We have summer reading programs right now. We have to, again, figure out how we learn and try to engage that same protocol with the children. Initiatives. We have so many books that you can read, and you'll get a prize at the end of the summer for reading a certain amount of books. We just have to keep the community engaged, figure out how to get them there, because that's an issue.
Thank you.
All right.
Candidate Blander Harris.
Thank you. A vision that I have for promoting literacy throughout the community for our library is, as a former educator, I would like to let you guys know that I am a part of We Shall Read. I attempted to bring this program several times to the library. Didn't have any attendance to come to the interest meetings. However, I didn't give up. I'm still pushing that program. I'm still very interested in it. And we can include it with the tutoring program we already have at the library, with the arts program, with the chess club program. We can include these so that we are implementing literacy along with gameplay, because if you know, as long as you're playing games, you're learning and you're reading, and that is a combination of what kids and adults all like to do. We can also create social clubs. With that, the adults will have a place to feel where they belong, and they won't feel so isolated. And with that, we have game nights, and we also need to think about the ESL community too. That's our English as a second language. We need to include them in it because literacy starts at home. And if home is not literate, you won't be. Thank you.
Thank you. Candidate Marion.
Yes, as a descendant of educators and also construction workers, I think that it made me a well-rounded individual, and I would like to bring that to Pontiac. I would like to see a well-rounded Pontiac. We're not just educating the college-bound, but we're also educating those that would like to go into trades. It would be great if Pontiac had a GED program, a construction program, all located in the library. Also, that way that we can keep our city dollars in our city. If we build these construction workers up, they can build our city up. So I think those things are very important. I think for my vision is to see a well-rounded Pontiac.
Thank you. Our next question will first go to candidate Kills. And that question is, how will you build partnerships between the library and schools, nonprofits, reentry programs, and other services?
Building relationships by collaborating, having meetings with different organizations, researching what they do and allowing them to see what it is that the Pontiac Library has to offer, and kind of bouncing those ideas and using those ideas to both benefit the Pontiac Library from the resources from around the community, getting the community engaged in what it is that they want, what do they need, what is the needs of the community. I think that's important. Getting organizations that, have an interest in supporting the initiatives of the Pontiac Library. I think that's important to getting the community engaged in what's going on at the Pontiac Library and the resources that they have to offer the community.
Thank you. Candidate Cornegay Bay.
Can you repeat that again, please?
Yes. How will you build partnerships between the library and schools, nonprofits, reentry programs, and other services?
So I would do that just simply by having a conversation and building relationships. Pontiac is about 62,000 people. We all know each other. It is not that big. There's nothing wrong with going to talk to your neighbor, So I believe what I'm already doing, I sit on the board for Brilliant Detroit Pontiac. I do collaborate and share resources with every nonprofit and just about every business owner in the city of Pontiac. So I'm always talking about what's going on and sharing it with everyone in the city so that they can know. I just ask that everyone spread the information. I do a lot of word of mouth, a lot of meetings, collaborations, and searching for nonprofits in these different groups that can support and hold up the city for years to come for all of us. So I thank you. Thank you all.
Thank you. Candidate Lance Richardson.
I'm putting in a plug right here. If you don't have a free little library at your home or near you, that's an opportunity for you to engage with your people in your community. We put books in there, or you can provide books in there. You can take time to read to young people, or you can read yourself. But what we want to do is make sure, one of the things that I do is when I'm at the library, is when I see people coming out or going in, I said, did you get what you needed? And so that's an opportunity for me to talk to people, or when I'm in the store or just walking around, I have an opportunity to just engage conversation with people, and you find out oftentimes that there are people that have something they can provide, a service or something, or just volunteer by being at the library and servicing all different levels. And reentry and GED are all the things that we do in our community. We can continue to do that, and I think that's important, that we use our conversation, our mouths, to make a difference in having conversation, to get people to come and make a difference.
Thank you. Candidate Turpin.
Yes, I think we should become ambassadors for the library, meaning that we go out and we share what our missions and goals are. We do a tour of the library. We share with them what our programming looks like. And then we have some listening sessions. Then we sit down and we talk to the community and share with them what our wishes and our concerns are, and how they can help us, and how we can help them. For example, with the schools, we don't have a lot of libraries in the school, so it's important that we form that partnership. Summer school in the library, tutoring at the library, and have the kids come to the library for field trips to get them acclimated to what the library is really about. And so with all the partnerships, everything is a community responsibility. No one can do this all by themselves. So we really need each other to help build the library and to help grow. Thank you.
Thank you. Candidate Allen.
So I'm proud to announce that I just secured a $5,000 donation from BTE in partnership. Yes. It's all about relationships, relationship I've established through barbecuing throughout the community and letting people know what I'm a part of and what the library's needs are right now. And in the conversation, they said, oh, you guys need grass done, you need landscaping done, we have somebody for that. I'm gonna connect you to a person. I was like, okay, phenomenal. I got a call, they came out, checked out the scope of work that needed to be done and said, all right, we'd like to partner with you guys. It's simple as a conversation. Opening up our mouths, stating what we need, and going from there. I see Oakland Forward in here right now and all the different nonprofit organizations, so I'm looking forward to having a conversation with you after this to see how we can partner and make the library greater than it is right now. Thank you.
Thank you. Candidate Blander Harris.
One way in which that we can build partnerships and keep our community involved is that we're going to invite them into the library. They need to see it, they need to touch it, they need to feel it. They need to feel like the library is them. They need to feel like the library is part of their heart, part of their community. They need to feel included. Also, I would then provide the opportunities to have their employers volunteer, because all employees like tax write-offs, right? Yes, and that would be a good tax write-off. And then allow the librarians, not the librarians, but the board members to go and volunteer at their place of business to see what they're doing, like going to the schools. Take the position of a teacher for the day, a library for the day, because some of our schools don't have them, and see what it's like to be in the schools. See what you think they would need or how you can encourage the kids to come to the library. And then with the businesses, do the same. Go to their place, see what it is that they need so that we can connect and make our community back at the library what it's supposed to be, because the library is the hub, it's the heart. And if we're not feeling a part of it, we're not part of it.
Thank you.
You're welcome.
Candidate Marion.
Pontiac, we are building our library services. If you come to the library, if you haven't been in the last 4 years, we are building our library services. I attend city council meetings. I attend guest reading at the preschool. We have just partnered with Honor Health. Every Wednesday, Honor Health comes in now and they do wellness checks. That is a partnership formed because I opened my mouth and said this is something we need in the library. Also, we have Oakland Thrive that is willing to come in the library. We do early voting now. There are a lot of programs at the library, so it is just a matter of opening your mouth and letting them know what we need. And that's what we're starting to do. We are opening our mouth and we are telling people what we need.
Thank you. Candidate Jones.
I will say this, I have taken on being a leader of a coalition, and in Pontiac, it's tough work. We have a lot of silo mentality in our city. We do, we got to admit that. But a thing I found out is everybody got to promote excellence. Because if you want excellency, you have to make sure that you promote excellency in your own, and then it's easy for you to collaborate with somebody else. So we got to create win-win situations. Win-win is that when you go to somebody, you're looking at how you can do together and you both win. And I think if the library started reaching out, once we get to a level of quality, that we can easily talk about collaboration.
Thank you. Our next question will first go to candidate Cornegay Bay. And that question is, how should the library allocate its budget? What programs or services should be prioritized?
Said, how should the library allocate its budget?
Budget, yes.
So the library should allocate its budget with knowing what's priority. I am not a board member yet, but I would look at the budget and see what's priority, to see what needs to be there and see what needs to be second. I believe that keeping the library open, keeping the computers accessible for everyone to come in, keeping the air conditioning on, it gets hot in the summertime, keeping the heat on, keeping the electric bills paid, making sure that there are volunteers there that are readily available for the children, copier machines, we all need a notary, we need the staff there. So those are the types of things that make up, the make of the library, and those are important. Thank you.
Thank you. Candidate Lance Richardson.
I think the priorities are, you have to look, first of all, you have to have employees. You have to have employees, and with libraries, you have to have certified librarians and a director in place in order to get your funding from the state and so forth. You need to have programs based on the statistics that show what will be implemented that will make a difference in the community. You have to maintain your facility. You have to do upgrades, in which we're in the process of doing right now. It's important that we realize and understand that the Pontiac Public Library is only one of 3 places that the citizens of Pontiac still own. So as we look at programming, look at maintaining our facility, that's most important.
Thank you. Candidate Turpin.
Yes, so when you have a budget, you have priorities. So the first thing you will look at, what are your priorities? And then you will look at how much money has been allocated to these priorities. How is the money being spent? And then when you talk about a budget and you talk about finances, I would like to think that there would be a conversation between the director, between the staff, between the board members for input. Because no one entity knows everything, but there are standards, like she said. You have programming, you have maintenance, you have technology, and so there's a lot of components to running a library. And then if there's time to make budget cuts, you have to prioritize. What is most important? What is going to serve the community the best? And so it's not a one-time decision, it's just a conversation and planning and prioritizing. What are the needs of the library? What do we do? What don't we want to eliminate? And then also, what do we want to add? Thank you.
Candidate Allen.
So, how should the library allocate its budget? Prioritizing quality and sustainability, service, staffing, stewardship, and sustainability. We have to put money away for the rainy days that come, because we have a lot of them. Right now, we have roof repairs that need done. We need an elevator that's fixed, that hasn't been serviced in forever. We have to have our budget in place and just have our priorities together. Staffing is most important. We have to be staffed in order to run a library, and then go from there.
Thank you. Candidate Blander Harris.
Yes, ma'am. The way I would like to allocate the budget is, first and foremost, speak with the other board members and see what the current budget is, so we can live off and work off of that. Speak with the employees to see what they want or what can they suggest, and then also try to see if there's a way we can allocate money coming in by renting out the spaces that are unused in the library. That way you can have small businesses use those spaces, and not only you getting people to come into the small business space, but they actually come into the library. So therefore, again, they're using the library in more than one modality. They're using it as their business, and they're using it to do research and figure out more things that they can do within the library. But we have to be very creative and thoughtful when we're thinking of things when it comes to budget, because there's more than one way to have a budget and make money when you're a librarian.
Thank you.
You're welcome.
Candidate Marion.
With the millage coming next year, it's very important that we have transparency in our budget. So I think involving the community surveys and forums would be a great idea to bring in the community and find out the needs of the community for our library. That way we can enhance it based on the needs of the community and not the needs of just the board members or the staff. I also would focus on the fact that we need more money coming in, more money being donated, more money by using our resources that we already have. We have several resources in the library that could generate funds. So I think if we have those and we add those to the budget, it's a lot easier to allocate if we're bringing money in and not just sending money out.
Thank you. Candidate Jones.
Yeah, can you repeat the question again?
Yes. How should the library allocate its budget? What programs or services should be prioritized?
Yeah, thank you. When you start talking about allocating the budget, first thing you can do, I will say this, and people would have to agree with me, everybody doesn't understand a budget. You got to really understand what a budget is, and I would just say I'm fortunate enough I have a business management degree, and I know budget is about income and expenses. And when you project an income, you just projections. And then you talk about expenses, you got to say your expenses have to match your income. So when you start trying to balance your budget, you have to be honest about your income to get a balanced budget, because if you're going to project expenses to balance it, they both have to balance out. Now I think what we have to do is be very productive on creating income for the library, and then be realistic about our expenses.
Thank you. Candidate Kills.
I think working on within the budget that was created for that fiscal year would be the first thing I would do to make sure that the funds are being allocated appropriately, making sure that everything that is within the budget that is priority is first being managed and the funds are being allocated there. And then I would work with the members or within the budget of the library to make sure that we have the opportunity to bring other funds in to support the other needs for the library, like building operations and like just using what we could, like the spaces within the library, the pancake shelter, those type of things, trying to figure out how those things can help support with bringing income or bringing funds in to help with the operations of the library.
Thank you. This will be the last question, and it first goes to candidate Lance Richardson. That question is, do you believe libraries should invest more in digital collections in emerging technologies like AI tools? Why or why not?
Yes and no. What we have to first do is make sure that we're educating ourselves and the community on how to use AI and future technology. In order to do that, we have to set aside a budget in order to make sure we're doing a sufficient job in doing that. And the no part of it is if we don't provide the adequate services in order for people to understand how to utilize them, we're going to do a disservice to the community. So it's very important that we engage ourselves and the community and everything so that they know how to use it correctly, and that we're engaging it in a way that's going to serve everyone in the community at all levels.
Thank you. Candidate Turpin.
Can you repeat the question, please?
Yes. Do you believe libraries should invest more in digital collections and emerging technologies like AI tools? Why or why not?
So I think there should be a balance between the two. We have people who cannot physically come to the library. We have people who are blind, who would need audio books. So we have to try to balance and be able to serve the complete overall community. Technology is not going away. And so we have to, when we talk about people not being able to use technology, I think we also already have training sessions at the library to teach people how to use computers and things like that. So I think it all depends on budget. It all depends on the priorities of the library and how we use the funds, because we can't do everything for all people at all times, but then we just have to decide what is more important. But I do think we need a balance, because not everybody can come to the library or choose not to come. But there's digital books, there are games, there's a lot of things that we can do to enhance the participation of our community.
Thank you. Candidate Allen.
Please repeat the question.
Sure. Do you believe libraries should invest more in digital collections and emerging technologies like AI tools? Why or why not?
Yes and no. So when I was coming up, dictionaries were the best thing that you could have. My mother kept every encyclopedia and dictionary in the house, and it really made a world of difference. To flip a page, to have to look for it, to use your brain to do something. Right now, everything is at the fingertips. You don't have to do any work to get to it, making it easier, making your brain work a little slower. So I definitely believe that both of them should be utilized. Like Ms. Turpin just said, some people can't make it to the library. So we have to make it accessible for everybody to have digital copies readily available. AI. Tamika Ramsey and Associates Open Forward offer sessions for AI and for usage and how to use it in a new and emerging world. So there's plenty of partnerships that we can utilize to merge AI and digital collections.
Thank you. Candidate Blander Harris.
Thank you. We should invest in with digital by being very responsible, because if you use AI the wrong way, you can create a lot of issues and problems for not just yourself, but your community at large. Also, we need to make sure that the services that we offer to the community is accommodating through trainings like what Ms. Allen said, through Oakland Forward. Tamika Ramsey offers the AI training. Let's partner with them. You also have e-community outreach services. They have resources that we can probably use to include them. And then also, we have to think about that the library is a hub, and we have to make it accommodated for all levels of sensory friendly. Because you have neurodivergent people who want to come and use the library because they don't have a place to go where they can have silence or wear headphones. It becomes a distraction to them. And we have to think about that. We have to allow for Braille books. And I like to flip a book. Because again, the more emotions you do when you're learning, the better you get to learning and the better it sticks in. Thank you.
Thank you.
You're welcome.
Candidate Marion.
Now, don't get me wrong. I love ChatGPT. Love it. I promise I do. But our kids need to learn how to read. If they can't read, they can't learn. If they can't learn, they can't move forward. If they can't move forward, they can't progress. We have to teach our children to read a book, read a contract, read what's in front of you. Just missing the slightest little thing can make a difference in your life. We have to teach our children how to read a book. So, and it also helps with their public speaking. So I think that I love AI. I think it's great. We have a gentleman right now that is willing to come into the library, teach AI, and pay the kids to learn AI, and help businesses build their websites after they learn the AI programming. But we have to teach them to read first. They have to be able to read.
Thank you. Candidate Jones.
I really can appreciate this question. I'm going to say absolutely yes to technology and AI. We have to be cutting edge in our city, and I think the library is a perfect place that you can come and try new technology. Wouldn't cost you nothing to come. If we are cutting edge at our library and we looked at our library as being more than just a library, well, what about a media center? If you go to different cities right now, they have expanded libraries to not only being libraries, but they're media centers. And we need to be cutting edge, and we need to have the library being in the forefront of that. So when you want to try something out, anybody in the community can come try it out at the library. Thank you.
Thank you. Candidate Kills.
I agree with what Mr. Jones said. The library has to be both. It has to have the experience of being able to utilize technology, and technology being friendly for the community as a whole, not just, you know, younger generations, but everybody, because technology is so important, and that's the way the world is moving, where everything technology revolves around everything. And I think that having technology available to the community is beneficial, but I do think having books and being, you know, having a book is hands-on. It has a greater effect on learning and literacy as well.
Thank you. Cornegay Bay.
I believe that, you know, I'm of middle age, and I see a lot of different ages in this room today. We all grew up learning how to write on a blackboard. You know, we all learned how to write and read in cursive. We all need books. That's the foundation. That's very important. My family were educators, so they didn't play when it was time to take out a book, stop everything and read. You know, that was important when we were growing up. So I believe keeping books are important, but as times are changing, we do need to implement the digital robotic era within our lives. And there's nothing wrong with unlearning to relearn a new thing. It's just, I believe city engagement is important. So we would have to get the input of all of our community members to see what it is that they can do or are willing to learn. Thank you.
Thank you. This concludes our time for questions. Candidates now have 1 minute to make a closing statement. This will be in reverse order, and we will begin with Candidate Turpin.
Okay. I was just sitting here thinking, and I feel as though technology is great, but there's a foundation that all of our kids need in our schools. That's the foundation of reading. Reading opens the door to opportunities. It opens the doors to employment. And if we're going to have a courageous conversation, our kids are struggling, and they're the future of this city. We're here now, but we're not going to be here, what, 20, 30, maybe 50 years from now. So what will this city look like? Will our children be able to find a job? Will they be able to get into leadership positions? Because if you can't find a job, there's crime. We have to think about the future of our city, the future of our kids, and reading is fundamental. Reading, if you can't read, you will not go anywhere. Everything is dependent upon the ability to read, to comprehend. So, thank you.
Thank you. Candidate Rosie Lance Richardson.
Thank you for your time. We have to embrace everyone, and whether it's an individual or whether it's a family. I found that it does not matter what your circumstances are, where you come from, what you look like, you have to embrace everyone. And in the process of embracing everyone, we have to find a common ground that we can reach everyone to provide some kind of service for them, whether it's employment, whether it's learning to read, helping parents to engage their children in different activities, grandparents. Across the board, we have to make sure that we're providing services that are going to engage everybody and make people feel comfortable at the level in which they are. It's important that we not pick and choose who we work with. It's important that we make sure that we're engaging everyone and allowing everyone an opportunity at the library, which is our main focus that we have. And again, remembering, the library is one of 3 places that we have in the city.
Thank you. Candidate Cornegay Bay.
I want to thank you all for the opportunity for allowing me to be here tonight. I'm running for the library board because I really have a deep care about our community. And I believe that our library can still be vibrant and thrive. Also, everyone has a space to be seen and heard. So everyone's voice is important. Everyone has the open availability to go to the library because that's what it's there for. I believe within my background, I understand the importance of nurturing both the mind, the body, and the spirit. And with the background in finances, I believe I can bring that same care to the library and to keep it open for us for many years to come. Thank you all.
Thank you. Candidate Kills.
I think literacy is important, and I think as a whole community, I think engaging the community to understand how important literacy is to each and every one of us to help us to continue to grow individually and as a community. I think expanding library services and promoting community engagement to ensure that our library continue to be a space that's inclusive and innovative for everyone within the community is important. And I just want to be a part of that. Thank you.
Thank you. Candidate Jones.
Once again, I want to say thank you for this opportunity. My closing statements is I'm a facilities person, and my whole thoughts is after all these many years, our library should be expanding. I'm thinking about how we can put another floor on our library, how we can expand that library so we can also be having a media part to it. And if you truly look at what's happening in our city is changing, our library should be changing to be serving the community in a much greater value. And I believe that I have the wherewithal to come to this library board, not knowing everything, but my background would truly align me with saying a good evaluation of how we can have the best opportunity to engage the total city in wanting to be a part of our new library. Thank you.
Thank you. Candidate Marion.
As a 10-year volunteer at the library, I just didn't start this 4 years ago when I ran for library board. I volunteered there for years. I urge you to come to the library. Just come down there and share your time with us. We would appreciate it. And then I also want you to really look into the candidates that are running, because there is people out here that want to sell our library, to totally remove it from the center of the city. So I ask you to really, really evaluate the candidates. Really look into who is running and who wants the best for our library, and which I do. I want the best for our library. I want the best for our children. I work hard. I work hard to make sure that the programs are successful. I volunteer my time, and I just ask you to really, really evaluate. Don't base your vote on popularity, but base your vote on who wants the best thing for the Pontiac Public Library.
Thank you. Candidate Blander Harris.
Yes, I am doing this because I am about the community, and one way for sure I can prove that to you is on August 5th, instead of me going out personally promoting myself on that day, I decided to make sure that our polls were safe and that people were getting to the right the right place to vote. I didn't go out and promote Tory Blander Harris running for library board. I said, what precinct are you supposed to be at? Are you at the right precinct? So besides me just being and talking about being about the city and about the community, I showed you by putting myself last and making sure that community will successful in placing their votes on August 5th. That was something that I personally did. And I made sure I was speaking up for other people that were up here running for the library board. I had a chant that I said, and people went in there and they were voting for that chant. And I was proud of that because that is me, that is who I am. And that's what I want to bring back to the library, family and community. Thank you.
Thank you. Candidate Allen.
Thank you all so much for coming out today and listening to our spiel on why we want to be on this library board. Thank you for your time. Thank you to everybody who put this thing together. We appreciate you guys taking the time out your busy Thursday evening. I just want to ask for you guys to make sure y'all come out and vote on November 4th. Like she said, get to know your candidates. Everybody is here to run for the library board, but please know why. Please get to know each of these candidates up here and understand this. we don't all work well together. We will work well together because it's our job, but understand that everybody has a different purpose. Ask questions afterwards. Ask the people why they're here, what their goal is for the library, and what their intentions are once they get on the board. We need a solid board so there's not arguments, confrontations, things of that nature. We can actually get the job done. A part of this board right now, we spend oftentimes too much of our time disagreeing, agreeing to disagree. But we need to spend time on what's important and moving the board forward. So please, please, please go back.
Thank you very much.
All right.
Thank you. The League of Women Voters and their partners would like to thank the audience, the candidates, and Effigy Media Arts Company for making this forum possible. Rebroadcast of this forum will be on the League of Women Voters Oakland area website, the partners' websites, and YouTube. The League of Women Voters is funded by contributions from concerned businesses and citizens. Our membership is open to women and men over the age of 16. This presentation is copyrighted in 2025 by the League of Women Voters and can only be shown in its entirety. All rights are reserved. Remember, early voting starts October 25th, or you can vote at your precinct on November 4th. Democracy is not a spectator sport.
Amen.
For concluding comments, here is Angela Davenport from Voting Access for All Coalition.
And Charles Thomas will be joining me too with some comments. I just want to first thank everybody for taking the time to attend. My mom is a librarian, and I spent my life in libraries. It was a refuge for me and for many other people in a very safe space. And I'm very grateful for the time that you've all taken to be a part of this conversation. So I want to thank our community members, neighbors, partners for being here tonight. Your presence is a powerful reminder that Pontiac is full of people who care deeply about your shared future and ensuring that public institutions like the library reflect the values, needs, and voices of the entire community. And to the library board candidates, thank you all for stepping forward, sharing your ideas, your passion, your commitment to service. We're reminded that libraries are more than just buildings with books, right? They're aspects of learning, growth, safety, access, and connection. They support our youth, elders, our families, whether you're navigating poverty, reentry, or housing instability. And the decisions made by the library board will impact us all. So this election matters, as reminded, November 4th. And I want you to share, Charles is going to share about absentee ballots, making sure everybody is voting.
Yes, I just wanted to make sure that everybody was aware of the fact that absentee ballots are available starting today. You don't have to wait until November 4th. Take advantage of the laws that we voted to make it so that voting was more accessible and easier for everybody. So absentee ballots are available starting today. You also have 9 days of early voting starting on October 25th at the library. At the library, yes. And so take advantage of the opportunities that, again, we have voted to put in place. And again, thank you to all the candidates. Thank you to all the organizations that collaborated to put this together to make it so that your candidates could come and express their positions to you, their potential constituents.
Yes, and before we go, we want to also invite you to our next candidate forum, which is on Monday, September 29th. And we'll be hearing from those running to represent City Council Districts 3, 4, and 5. These are folks who help decide how our city budget is spent, how you navigate housing, infrastructure, public safety, reentry, youth programs, and these decisions shape Pontiac, the Pontiac that we all love. and that you live in. So thank you for your time. Thank you again to League of Women Voters, Oakland Forward, Voters Not Politicians, the Change Up Midnight Coalition, When You Vote I Win, Michigan League of Conservation Voters, Jews for a Secular Democracy, Michigan Roundtable for Just Communities, and to all the candidates, thank you very much. Have a great evening. And we have a survey. It's really important. We have a survey that you've all been given. We just need to know, was this helpful? Should we do this again? Please take a few minutes to fill out the survey, complete the survey. There's a QR code you can take with your phone, or just simply fill it out, and you can give it to Allison waving in the back. It's a really short survey, so thank you. Thank you.
Took away questions out of